Welcome back to the channel. I'm excited to bring to you the first video in this series where we're going for server first 80 Druid on the Fresh servers. So it's Wrath of the Lich King. I want to talk about why this Fresh Wrath server is going to be different than Fresh Classic, anything in TBC, Fresh Season of Mastery. I think that's the last time we had Fresh servers. You know, in Wrath of the Lich King, a lot of the classes' abilities got mixed around. There were new added abilities, some trained or talented abilities are now basic abilities, and the pacing of the game really sped up a lot. And in this Fresh Wrath server, we're going to have a 50% buff all the way around from killing mobs and completing quests. And so that's going to speed up our route. That's going to make, mob grinding more efficient than questing at certain times. It's going to make you skip certain questing hubs and questing areas. And so right off of the bat, let's talk about the 50% buff and how that's going to make this Fresh server experience a lot different. In tandem with the mana regeneration change, I think all throughout leveling, you're going to receive mana, you're going to regenerate mana a lot quicker than you did in Classic and TBC. And as you can see on the stream, it was actually bugged, but I didn't run out of mana until level 10. And so I just grinded mobs in like 55 minutes, and I got to level 10, didn't do any quests compared to questing. It took me an hour and 10 minutes. But since they fixed this, the mana regen, it does have a 5-second rule like it should have always had, but now mana doesn't come back in chunks, right? It's progressive. So because we have this 50% buff, you're going to complete the zones a lot quicker. You're going to cut out a lot of quests in these zones. A lot of times you're not going to finish these major quest chains that give really good quest rewards. And I noticed that on this practice feral run I did 1 to 50. The Feral Druid felt weaker than in Classic and TBC, around level 30, level 35 when it's supposed to pick up, and you get Ferocious Bite at 32. I've still felt super weak, and I think it was because I still had on like white gear. I didn't have any statted gear. I didn't finish quest chains that would have rewarded me really good greens. I didn't grind and kill a lot of mobs like I did in Classic Era or just Vanilla Classic, and you end up finding greens that, have agi and strength on them. I didn't have any pieces of gear, and so my Feral Druid actually felt a lot worse. So some of those classes like Warrior Rogue that are weapon or gear dependent, might struggle just with the speed. Even though you're going to be going quickly, it'll all be over pretty fast. But the point is, with me playing Druid, and I'm going for server first 80 Druid, these first 24, 36, 48 hours on the server's lifetime are a big deal. And so the whole idea is to race to 60 as quickly as possible. In Wrath of the Lich King, you can fly at 60. Druids, I think it only costs them like 10 gold to train, whereas all the other classes are going to be spending about 300 gold. And, that's another thing. You're going to be accruing a lot less gold along the journey. And so as soon as I hit 60 as a Druid, I'm going to go back and train herbalism and mining, level them up as quickly as I can, and then spend probably 6 to 10 hours just farming herbs and nodes, mining nodes, in that first play session, just because there's so much to do in the pre-patch, there's so much to prepare for if you're going for server first 80 Druid, that I need to knock that out right away. And so with the 50% buff, I'm pretty sure I can get to 60 in about 20 hours or so, and spend another, like I said, 5, 6, hopefully 10 hours all in one session. I don't think I can do more than 30 hours, but it's going to be imperative that I level up quickly so I can just knock that out of the park, and not have to revisit farming for my server first race. And I'll also make a lot of gold, incidentally. All the herbs, additional herbs that I don't use for super rejuvenation potions, health pots, mana pots, my AP flask, elixir of demon slaying, I'll have to go back to Azeroth to farm that. Some of the additional mining nodes that I get, it's just going to be money that I can use to fund anything that I need for the race, or buying gear for some reason early on. So that's another incentive to farm early. The last thing I want to cover is my leveling experience on this Fresh server, what I'm planning to do, 1 to 10 right out of the gate. It's going to be a little bit different than previously. I've always played a Tauren Druid on Fresh, and I don't have as big of a mana pool. Well, now we have a bigger mana pool as a Night Elf Druid, and the Wrath costs 5 instead of 20. And so I'm going to be able to get a lot of tags as a Druid, but I think that I'm going to actually follow myself around with my own hunters, or maybe have some people from stream follow me around and mob tag until level 10. I might have 2 buddies from the stream that are committed to leveling hunters at the same time as me, and then walking into Bloodmist Isle with me from like level 12 to 20, and maybe mob tag the whole way up from there, not being grouped, and that'd be a huge help. I've just been looking at the kill speed and the level up time compared to some other classes, and Druid is just inferior like it was in Classic and TBC. So I'm trying to get any possible edge I can to get my class leveled up there quickly. And I'm actually excited that in Wrath, I'm going to be leveling his balance. It looks like 1 to 50. I'm not done with the test yet. If you want to come check me out, we're actually testing, the difference between balance and feral at 44 to 50 right now. And so my balance druid's like 28. But right now, balance is looking really strong. I'm just going to be spamming Wrath. Once Starfire comes online, you get rank 2 Starfire. There's a couple talents in the balance tree that are kind of neat, and eventually we're going to play Boomkin from 40 to 50. So I'm not sold on it yet. We'll see. But I think at 50 we swap over to Feral and go 50 to 60 in cap form. And then, yeah, man, that hopefully the first session is really successful. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you do want to catch me live at twitch.tv/GreatsForDays, you can find me there. Follow, subscribe to the channel, like the video if you want to see the series. And I will see you guys in the next server first race preparation video.